I'm John Pienaar. This is Drive on Times Radio, and I'm welcome to the program. On the latest stories coming out of Washington, welcome then to Joe Walsh. He's a former Republican, I stress former Republican congressman. Joe, welcome to the program.
Good to be with you again, my friend.
It's great to have you here. So, look, just in the last few moments, really, we've had the news reported that President Trump is saying at least that he wants to sack, that he means to sack, that a governor on the Federal Reserve, America's central bank, is being sacked by him. Now, there's a huge question mark over whether he has the legal power to do it. But what do you make of what he is doing or trying to do? Some critics, as you know, Joe, are saying that there's good reason to believe that the accusations against this Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook are a political device. It's part of a Trumpite political vendetta. She's accused of mortgage fraud. What is your take on it? Just tell us.
Well, start here. Trump does not have the authority to fire her from the Fed board. He doesn't. The Supreme Court even said that 3 months ago. Look, Congress passed a law. The president can remove someone from the Board of Governors for cause, i.e., a proven crime committed while on the job. The President of the United States yesterday sent out a tweet saying maybe some of these allegations are true. So swat all of that away. Trump doesn't have the authority to do that. What's going on is this, and again, I'm not the only one saying this. This great 249-year-old experiment in democracy called the United States of America, we have a fascist in the White House. And part of what any good fascist tries to do is take over the private economy. And that has been systematically what Donald Trump is trying to do. And to go at the Fed Reserve Board is just trying to further that, his control over the economy.
Let me just then put a point to you that might be put by a supporter of Donald Trump, maybe a hypothetical member of Trump's staff. If they were sitting here and part of this conversation, they would say there's credible evidence that this Federal Reserve governor put false information on a mortgage application in the past, and that is potentially an offense. It would make any official vulnerable. What would you say to that?
Again, these are allegations that may be true, but the statute specifically says the only way a president can remove someone from that board if a crime has been proven to be committed.
Right.
By the way, while on the job, let's assume for a moment she committed mortgage fraud. That's not while on the job, but we're only talking about allegations as well here. Look, this is what Trump does. Again, important to remind all of us, every time he opens his mouth, he tells a lie or does something. The intent here is what matters. He's trying to end the independence of the Fed and take over control of the American economy. And that's what needs to be called out. And by the way, she came out this morning, this member of the board, the Fed board, and said, I ain't going anywhere. You don't have the authority to remove me. Now get lost. And now she sounds like she's rightly going to sue him for trying to fire her.
And it's worth maybe pointing out that the head of the Federal Housing Finance Agency, Bill Porter, who's driving these accusations, is a Trump appointee, is a Trumpite, and very recently was leveling accusations of impropriety against the chair of the Federal Reserve, who, of course, has massive differences with the president.
This is all political. Again, the danger is Donald Trump has very smart people working around him. And everybody working around him is political, and everybody working around him is loyal to him. Well, I mean, think about it, right? We don't have an independent Justice Department in this country right now. We don't have an attorney general. The attorney general of the United States is basically Donald Trump's personal lawyer. The number two person at the Department of Justice is literally Donald Trump's personal lawyer. So all of these norms, all of these divisions to keep people and agencies independent, they're all gone because of what Trump is doing.
I must just put it to you, Joe. I mean, at the start of this conversation, you said there was a fascist in the White House. That is pretty hard language. Is that hyperbole? I mean, can you possibly stand up a suggestion like that? America is still a democracy, still a strong democracy.
No, no, I will. It's not hyperbole when you systematically take a look at what the president of the United States has done the past 8 months. And it's important to remember that, three branches of our government, we don't have an active independent Congress right now. So the legislative branch is totally beholden to him. Look at what Donald Trump is doing, right? He's pushing a right-wing, ultra-nationalistic ideology. He is suppressing all his opposition. He's persecuting his political opponents. He's threatening colleges and universities and law firms and media companies. Every day, he publicly uses the powers of his office to demand that private people be fired. He's grabbing pieces of Intel and other private companies. He's disappearing brown and black people off of our streets. He's denying people student visas into this country if they're Muslims. Every single thing he's doing is what all good fascist dictators throughout history have done. And I know it's mind-boggling to think, oh my God, this is in America. Well, you know what? This didn't sneak up on us either. Trump told us during the campaign he was going to do a lot of this stuff. Shame on the American people for caring more about the price of eggs than the defense of our democracy.
Well, I have to agree that what you're saying is indeed mind-boggling. Joe Walsh, good to talk to you. Thank you, as always.
Oh, sorry.
How about the meeting?
Oh my God, it was the worst. That didn't work out.
What's next? The president